Hi, my name's Adam Shoemaker, and I'm Rector at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in downtown Charleston, back for another edition of Rector's Corner. And I'm very happy to have with me today Kimberly Brown, who is the Board Secretary of Charleston Pride. Thank you very much for making the time. I just wanted to begin with some basic questions about what is Charleston Pride and how long has it been in existence?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say our mission is pretty multifaceted at its base. We just are seeking to promote the visibility of the LGBTQ plus community in our area. And that's done in a number of ways: education, honoring our heritage and history, advocating for culture, and celebrating our diverse community here in Charleston and in really just the greater area as well. So our purpose really is to highlight that unique diversity in our community. And we try to do that throughout various events. The one that's kind of most notable, you mentioned, is Pride Week, our Pride Parade, and our Pride Festival. But we also try to do this through other kind of notable celebratory events. In the past, that's been things like the Toast to Equality, which works with LGBTQ plus allied bars and restaurants. We also have our Pride pageant, which crowns an emperor and empress to represent Charleston and other locales. So really seeking to just stay engaged at, a bunch of different levels. And Charleston Pride has been in existence since 2010. It was founded by Lynn Dugan, and the first Pride Festival happened in May of 2010. So officially we're in our 11th year. Of course, last year kind of threw everything off a little bit. But that first Charleston Pride was titled "It's Time to Bridge the Gap." And so our current motto is "Bridge the Gap," just in homage to that, but also still seeking to kind of build those bridges throughout the community.
And could you say why Charleston Pride Week happens in the fall typically? I know in most cities around the country, Pride Month happens in the month of June. Can you talk about the timing?
Yeah, I think, well, first and foremost, for me at least, June is far too hot to be out and about. So I think one of the things with having September, October, November is just a little bit cooler weather here, but also I think sometimes Pride can almost be relegated to Pride Month in a sense, but we believe that Pride is something that should be celebrated every month throughout the year. And so it kind of gives the opportunity to have some events in June, but also to kind of spread out that celebration.
And so I'd love for you to talk a little bit about how COVID has impacted your work. As I've interviewed people throughout the past year, that's certainly been a central question. And you alluded to last year's plans being upended. How have you had to carry forward your work during COVID, and what are the current state of plans as we move into the fall?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, being a nonprofit, like a lot of nonprofits, COVID did hit us difficult, especially in financial areas. So really last year, we tried to maintain our finances, continue building some of that fundraising effort, but also put on those smaller events where we weren't having huge crowds, but could still celebrate in some ways. And that included things like drive-in movie nights and other kind of virtual events. And so this year, we really are excited to kind of be back in person. But Charleston Pride started in North Charleston. So we're kind of returning to our roots with the festival this year back in North Charleston at Riverfront Park. And while it's in some ways about returning to our roots, it's also about, currently we've been at Brittle Bank Park, which is a smaller area. Being at Riverfront allows us to really spread out a little bit more, be a little bit more COVID friendly, but also to have possibly even a bigger event, hosting more local entertainers, more vendors, offering more activities. And we really do want to highlight kind of that local community that we have here.
And will there be a full week of events, or are you mainly focusing on the weekend?
Yeah, right now we're still in progress with kind of getting everything finalized. We're hoping to have a handful of events, but obviously the festival will be kind of that biggest end of the week celebration.
And this year will be on a Sunday as opposed to a Saturday as it's been in the past?
Yes, this week or this year, rather, the festival itself will be on Sunday. But we do hope to kind of have some events throughout the weekend, but just kind of ending off on that.
And remind folks listening in of the exact date of the festival this year.
Yeah, it's October 3rd. And I apologize, I don't remember the hours directly off my head. I believe it's like 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the festival.
And this year, there will not be a parade. Is that correct?
We're still kind of figuring out the details of everything. So we'll definitely make announcements. We're at Charleston Pride on social media. And so if folks are active on that, I would definitely recommend that's where we kind of post all of our updates about Pride Week and any other events that we have going on.
I mean, it's such a fluid time with the Delta variant, and
Yeah.
things seem to be changing week to week. So I can't imagine the challenges you're having as we move closer to early October.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of trying to stay on top of things and vigilant of all the public health kind of issues that we could run into.
And you mentioned your presence on social media. You're on Facebook and Instagram. Are you on other platforms as well?
We're also on Twitter, though that's kind of probably our least frequently updated social media. But we also try to keep our website updated so if folks aren't on social media. Our website kind of has all the information about events, how to get involved in various capacities.
And what is your website for those listening in?
Oh my goodness. Let me double, it's charlestonpride.org.
Charlestonpride.org. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how can folks support Charleston Pride, not only during the fall, but throughout the year?
Yeah, I think there's a handful of ways to support, depending on kind of the ways in which people want to be involved. One of the biggest things, which we talked about a few minutes ago, is being a nonprofit. A lot of time and effort goes into organizing and putting on these celebratory events. We are funded strictly through donations, sponsorships, and fundraising. So due to this fact, one of the biggest ways to support is donation, which can be done through our website. But there's also volunteer opportunities that throughout kind of especially Pride Week is when we use the most volunteers for setup, tear down, various other as needed things. But throughout the year, as we continue to try and have events at least once a month, kind of volunteering, mostly probably tabling is our most common things throughout the year outside of just the event. But also beyond volunteering, there's opportunities to serve on the board like I am, which is also a volunteer responsibility. The board of directors is kind of the staff of Pride. We don't have any paid folks on staff. So we're in charge of planning and executing Pride Week, the Pride Festival, and all these kind of other things throughout the year. And lastly, we also have on our website a Charleston Pride shop. So as people are getting ready for the festival and Pride Week, we have a lot of merch that folks can check out there. So those are kind of the main ways to get involved.
That's great. Well, St. Stephen's has been a longtime supporter of Charleston Pride, and we'll certainly look forward to having a presence at the festival again this year. Thank you so much for your time and for your work with Charleston Pride. It's certainly a very important organization in the greater Charleston area.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us and just for your involvement and support continuously. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I firmly believe that it's so important to have faith communities involved in Charleston Pride, because of the way that religion has been used, I would say misused against the LGBTQIA community. So thank you so much for those who've listened into this conversation. Please do check out Charleston Pride on the World Wide Web or on social media, and stay tuned for further updates about the upcoming festival on October the 3rd. I'll be back next month for another edition of Rector's Corner. In the meantime, be safe and well, and wear your mask out there. Take care. Bye-bye.